Now. Yo, are we in? Respect. Yeah, so go on. Talk the things.
Yeah, so I don't see it. Morally, my moral compass is saying...
What are you talking about now?
Sorry. Well, let me get there. Morally, my emotion says, do the right thing. But what the right thing means is best for me. So I'm talking about the betting scandal that's going on right now.
Betting scandal? What,
politicians...
On the Euros?
Nah, politicians betting on the day the election was going to be, having inside scoop and all those kind of things. Oh. Now, if you're in the stock market, you're on the trading floor and them kind of things.
And them guys have
inside scoop, it's illegal. Man's coming in with badges and
then scooping up your thing.
Clearing your desk and them kind of things.
Okay.
But if you're in an office and people are talking about things and you hear a little something.
Bro, you have to remember, they have to print shit. So it's not like the election's tomorrow, let's start printing. That got sent to print how many weeks ago? Do you get what I mean?
But
ballot boxes, yo, you know the ballot box job you do every 4 years? What are you doing next Thursday? Do you get what I mean?
But all of these 2024 though, if this is not something that somebody said, you know what, you're in a position where you have knowledge of things that
you can't take advantage of.
Yeah, let's put something in place to stop that.
We're in the age of information.
Yeah. Can I ask something? Because I'm slightly confused. You're talking about the politicians voting on...
Yeah. Well, just voting in general.
But
on dates.
Can't they just get someone else to do it? I'm confused. That's what I've always thought about. Like,
they ain't trying to share the colour, innit? You see, you're enough generous. Yeah. My man's on, let me send Little Timmy down the road to go and bet for me. And then Little Timmy's going to be like, I want my cup. You shouldn't be doing this. And then all of a sudden, you're putting factions or fractions into the equation. But if you just go down the road or you just sign up online, as my man did, bet on yourself to lose.
Was it online?
8 grand.
Oh yeah, it's gone.
8 grand.
He's gone.
Nice.
I always worry how.
No,
like,
he bet 8 grand for him to lose the election.
I always get confused.
You know me? I'll be going up there saying, "Suck your mama," and then just. Did I win?
I'd vote for you after that.
Did I win? Yeah, you got 5 votes, 2 from Buddy.
But doing that, don't bet on yourself to lose. Why not? Because that's immoral, bruv. I can understand why to get in trouble for that. Because you're betting on yourself to. If you bet on yourself to win, I'm more like, you know what? You're betting on yourself, saying, "I am that good. I'm going to win. I'm going to do."
But it's not like a race, is it? It's like
it is a race, though, isn't it?
But it's the people that are voting. So it's not like I said, like a footballer who says we're gonna lose and he scores our own goal. He
said I'm gonna lose. So then basically, if I'm betting on myself to lose, it means that I know I'm that crap at my job.
No, or the other guy's just that good.
Yeah.
No.
But if
I'll get out of here, bro.
There's some parties that you know are not gonna win, right? So there's some parties when you look at on the votes.
Yeah, but the odds of them betting on themselves to lose, you're not really going to get no return. It's the guys that got a seat.
Yeah.
That we're probably not going to hold this.
But you can say that about the parties in general right now. The figures out there are like, they're gone. Labour's in. That's what the consensus is. So. If I'm Mr.
The MT podcast is not sponsored by any political group, nor do we hold any political
listen, I'm just saying what the
persuasion.
figures are saying out there right now.
Apart from Sirell. Sirell is here every Tuesday morning between 3 and 5 in the morning.
I am voting for the Banda Sensimila, pure things, tax rebate.
I respect that.
What's the other thing? Repatriation for black folk. There's pure things on my manifesto.
That will get your...
Yeah. Ting, ting, ting. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so firstly, can you guys share the live, please? I want to make sure that's done. Do your homework, because we've got a special guest in, and I want to make sure we're at top tier. Do you get it? So whilst you guys are doing that, in typical British fashion, it's hot. And I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's warm. Do you know, you even said that like you was foreign, bruv. I mean...
it's hot. I don't like it. Unlike you guys, I've inherited melanin. and I get heat rash.
Wait.
Says the lightest skinned brother.
I inherited it.
Brother, right now, you actually got a 10.
Brother,
Looking at your phone.
What's wrong with you, man?
Bro, he's got a 10.
Bro, drink all
Look at
that.
him, he's glowing. You know like when a woman's pregnant, they got that glow. He's got that
so
glow
you're saying
right
I got
now.
the British summer
Brother,
pregnancy
bro,
glow.
you got the pregnancy glow.
Bruv, right here I got heat rash, but you know you're trying not to scratch, so I got it here, a little bit on my neck.
Got heat rash.
Heat. Look. See, you're like
He's not fully black.
I am fully black.
I mean, okay.
This guy.
Between May and September.
Yeah, that was the time. He's black, but after that,
Yeah, well, yeah, and right now, it's I'm not liking it.
no.
Are you someone that complains about the sun and then complains about the rain and then
No,
complains
what
about
it
the
is,
wind
I
and
don't
snow?
mind it being hot, but when I can't cool down, this is when it's a problem.
Okay.
That's a money problem though, isn't it?
If I was Richard, I'd have air conditioning.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Or I could be sitting in a brass hot studio next to the devil and there are people there who's not relaxed in the heat. Like there's a big ass fan.
Forehead shining.
How big is the fan?
That's
That
industrial
fan
side.
looks like you put it in the water and you're going back home. Do you get what I mean? It's those you know the man they travel across the
channel.
The channel with that fan.
Yeah.
So it's got one big ass fan. It's blowing in one direction.
You know, as you
so
said,
half my body's hot and the other half is
Is
cold.
that seaweed on the blades? Right. Jay might have actually beat that up from Dover.
But anyway, so look, we're gonna crack on.
You say we're gonna crack on.
We're gonna crack on. Yeah.
We're gonna do the formalities.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you do the formalities.
1 second, Auntie's here.
Yeah, the heat of hair. Auntie Bud, the young thing.
Auntie Bud wants to have a word.
Carry on.
Do you know, like at the wedding, when the priest is talking,
Yeah,
and then
has anyone got anything to say?
the aunt stands up. Well,
I'm
and
saying
takes out a notepad.
do the necessary.
I literally said that's what I'm gonna do
Alright, well, do your thing.
until I
innit?
got interrupted.
Do your thing. I mean, here all day.
So formalities. Good evening and welcome to the MT podcast. My name is the Citrus, and to my right you have.
Buddy in the building, aka the young thing. No, the aka the truth.
Straight up. Straight up.
aka the truth.
And 1+ we have.
Sirell, ever so slightly broken. And we have a new guest today.
Our special guest is.
Yeah, Sweet Pea, aka the dark and the bright, the sweet and the juice.
You know what? You got to
need
say it with a little bit more chest.
Yeah, you need.
Okay.
Bring it up a little piece and say it with some chest.
Jay,
problem.
Jay, can we lock off the thing?
Nah, say that with chest. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was definitely perfect.
Do you want me to go again?
Go again,
man.
Sweet Pea.
Okay, so
You don't need to.
yeah, it's Sweet Pea, aka the dark and the berry, the sweet and the juice.
Look. Why are you
Why are you
interrupting?
messing up his thing for?
Now he's going to have to do it again with more chest.
Bruv. No, a cappella. We got this. Go on, we got you. You ready?
You with me? It's a
Yeah,
yay.
you're the backing. The backing's here.
You ready? Go.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Yay! It's Sweet Pea,
This
aka
is
the
so-
dark and the berry, the sweet and the juice. You say it 3 times.
So
you
my
reckon it-
name's Citrus. Yaga yo. It's the Citrus in the house. Don't let Sweet Pea teeth your ting. Yeah.
Nah.
No, man.
It's
It's
not
too
official.
much.
It's not official if I
Too
don't.
much. It's mine. That's mine. The yeah is mine. That's my whole thing.
I mean,
that bit.
You know, I miss Wiley.
That's mine.
I miss Wiley. Right now, Mr.
You bring a
Wiley
new guy.
would be rolling on
and
the
he's
floor.
I don't even understand it.
You know the funniest thing is he's doing it, but there's a reason why he's singing it. But let him introduce himself properly. You know what I mean?
All right. So I did my homework, guys. I've got my notes here. This is Sweet Pea. And rather than us doing an introduction, we're going to task him. I'm going to ask you to keep a timer for 60 seconds. We're going to task him to talk about Sweet Pea in 60 seconds, bang on.
Okay, cool.
And your timer starts. I'm looking at my now.
Okay, my name's Sweet Pea. Like I said, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Some call me the girl them sugar. Some call me the girl them glucose. I'm an R&B singer. I also produce, singer-songwriter and producer. And I work at Bushbash Recordings with the legendary MC Bushkin. And you can catch me on my Insta at sweetpea.music. That was a cheeky plug. And this year's about to be a very big year for me. I have some music coming. I got a single out called Hold On. Watch this space.
Time. How long was that? You come short, brother.
I mean,
You come short, brother. You come short.
I
You
would
come
say
short.
efficient, but
I
I mean, I
said
don't
60 seconds.
I can keep talking if you want.
You had 5 seconds left. You know what I mean?
Just
But it's
the
alright.
end, man. Just yeah. That's what
That's everything.
All right.
There you go.
So ready, bud?
Sorry.
What I've got for Sweet Pea is I wrote out and empty the clip.
We like this.
So, buddy, just for those that are new to the MT podcast, what is empty the clip?
I haven't got a clue. Nah, it's quick fire questions.
Okay.
That he's gonna fire at you. You have. I mean, I'm under pressure.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I mean, if you watch the podcast, you'd know that when you fire at me, I don't want to play. It's
No
done.
problem.
What's your name? Too late. So if you mess it up, you usually take a drink. I mean, you said you're teetotal, so we're.
Can someone else take the drink for me?
Buddy will do
Hell
it.
no.
Buddy probably will do it.
No. Buddy's not on that. However, I mean, you can swing back the water. We can make you just choke on it or something. I don't know. All right.
Since that's all the girls. But anyway, let's
Buddy's
continue.
on one right now, isn't it?
All right, so on empty the clip, your time starts now.
No problem.
FIFA or Fufa?
FIFA.
Akon or Bushkin?
Bushkin.
Gospel or R&B?
R&B.
God, the universe, or something else?
God.
Best football team?
Chelsea.
Stop.
And that was the MT podcast. No, we're going to keep going. Who's going to win the Euros?
Don't care.
West London or the West Side?
West London.
Fate or fortune?
Fate.
Swag or spirit?
Swag.
Did you say swag? Okay. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Inspiration, USA or Jamaica?
Jamaica.
15, 25, 35 or 45?
35.
What's your favourite spirit?
The one inside me.
Okay.
That was a good.
Summer flings, yes or no?
Of course.
Crisps or biscuits?
Biscuits.
Chocolates or sweets?
Sweet.
Long hair or short hair?
Long hair.
Weave or barlid?
Weave.
Glasses or contacts?
Glasses.
Army or Navy?
Army.
Girlfriend / partner or family?
Family.
Mandem or girlfriend?
God.
Go back to God. New friends or new experiences?
New experiences.
2 big holidays a year or 8 weekend breaks?
2 big holidays.
Sweet pea success or witness a miracle alone?
Sweet pea success.
And that was empty the clip. Guys, how do you think he did?
So, do we get to summarize it now?
You can summarize it.
So let me get there. Don't know nothing about football.
Whoa.
Hey, back the man them.
Ain't got a clue about football. Man said Chelsea.
I don't know whether
You
you
can
want
turn
this
his
to
mic off if you want. I don't mind.
I don't know whether you want this podcast to go left. I don't know what we're doing. It. Is this a football podcast?
Best man to go raving with. He'll have your back.
Thank you.
Okay. Picked R&B over gospel.
Yeah. And he's been put under pressure by a woman before, because when you asked him about the family or
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
The hesitation
Pure
was
pressure.
too long in it. Everything else was...
yeah.
This one...
He was quick fire and then
Yo, bud.
I mean, I'd have hesitated at the part where he said my
You
name.
want to give it head too?
Nah, so I would have hesitated straight away, bro. I mean, yeah, don't worry about it. I never get it.
Okay, so obviously in the style of the MT podcast, as we've got a guest on, we want to make him feel welcome. So I thought some quick fire questions in Empty the Clip to get him up to speed. I know Buddy's done some research and some background. I've done some research and some background. Unlike the majority of interviews you've probably had, where they've prepped you beforehand, I literally said to you, don't talk to me about nothing.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And then we spoke about strawberry picking. And you were too excited about it. I've got to be honest. I don't know why. You were really excited about it.
I like strawberries.
I don't even know where it came from, bro. But, all right, no problem. However, I'd like to just know a little bit more about you.
Okay.
And I watched you on a different podcast.
Okay.
And you shared that you're from a singing family.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your singing family.
Okay. So my dad's side of the family, he's got 14 brothers and sisters. They all were kind of like a band. They used to sing in the church.
They was all in one band.
Yeah. So they played.
Did you say 14? 1-4?
Yeah, 14 brothers.
Do you know the wickedest
Respect to
thing
the
is,
older
right?
generation.
Sorry to cut in, and I know I'm not allowed to do this. But imagine there's 14 people in the band. When the guitar and the bass and the drums
And the vocals.
and the vocals are gone, what instruments are left for the other members? Do you get what I mean? So this is where my brain is going.
Well, most of them sang. I think it's like a little bit
choir
like
band.
Yeah, so a little bit like the
Okay.
Jackson 5. When you think about it, I think
There weren't 14 members in the Jackson 5.
No, there wasn't, but there was.
Jackson 14, you meant
You
to
know what I
say.
mean? I don't know where we're going with this
The
one.
No, but I'm saying in the Jackson 5, there was I like that. like
All 14 of them.
they,
No
you know,
problem.
the older ones like played the guitar and the keys, and then the younger ones kind of, I think, sang and kind of held it together.
And to be fair, if we're going to include Free T and Latoya and...
They all never performed in one band,
All
bro.
right, all right, all right. What's-
You should
what's
never
the-
use the Jacksons. The Jacksons were
No,
something.
no, it was
No,
fine.
no, I like
It's
that
fine.
because me speaking on your behalf
Thank
and
you
tell me
very
to hold
To
it
shut
down,
up.
but it shows that you have to kind of fend more to make your presence known, innit?
Of course.
If there's 14 people there that are doing something, you now can't just come with a triangle and ping. And
I
then,
mean, also you never heard of them, so that means it may have not worked out.
However,
No,
they,
no,
they may be on a different circuit to what I was listening to.
No, they definitely they.
Right.
No, you have to remember-
They weren't that good.
And you have to remember, there's also behind the scenes, innit? There are people that are coaching people, that are managing people, showing a lot of the background stuff that we
weren't
don't see in the
professional,
media.
but they weren't professional. I'm just letting you know. It was just-
Oh, so
No.
backyard
They
band.
were, yeah, I mean, like they sang in the church and in their local area. It wasn't like they became famous or anything like that. I'm
Right,
making
okay.
them famous by saying it.
By
now.
saying it.
But this is probably the
I
most.
like this.
This is the most.
You really want to impress them? Call out the name of the group.
I think we'll leave that there.
Alright.
Okay, we'll leave that, really.
Yeah.
But, so, that's your dad's side of the family?
That's my dad's side of the family. Like, okay, so I'm from Uganda, and originally, like, Ugandan people are quite musical. You'll find music is quite a big thing for us. So it's not a surprise to have a family that sing and like any Ugandan party, you're gonna catch a bag of Ugandans harmonizing. It just happens.
No
It's
way.
Just,
So you look like a singing clashes at parties.
it's just yeah. It's just.
We need to go
What's
to a
your
Ugandan radio.
favourite Ugandan song? This feels
They
like
normally-
the same hesitation
What
he
was
had with the girlfriend.
No, because there's a there's a lot.
Your
All right, singer,
favourite
group,
song?
anything. No, don't let him put you in the
My
pressure.
favorite, well, funny enough, my favorite singer is a guy called Eddie Kenzo. He's a new Ugandan artist. He's quite big. He's quite well known. I don't know if you've seen the Ugandan dancers that have become famous. The Massacre Kids.
Oh, yes, I have
so
seen
they're,
it,
so
yeah.
they're from Uganda. So the song that blew them was Eddie Kenzo's song, and
So did he blow them up or did they blow him up?
no, he blew them up. So
He blew them
the
up.
song was out.
Was already
and
out.
then they danced.
They did the
his song,
dance, and then-
yeah.
And then,
To be fair, I never heard of him, but I see them kids are on my feed
Yeah.
all of the
Yeah,
time.
they're
so
amazing.
I
I
know,
get,
I know the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They done a video with French Montana.
yes,
In
yes,
Nate,
yes.
yeah, in the
I've seen
rap.
that.
Yeah, so-
Okay, so that's your dad's side of the family.
Yes. My mum's side, they sing, but it wasn't.
Right, we're just dissing them.
No, I'm not dissing
Sam, you
my
use like my dad's side of the family. 14 of them. Come
Yeah,
play the
yeah,
triangle.
they were the squad.
They were the whole squad. Mum's side of the family. They didn't even make the
Five
church.
aside, Sunday League.
Yeah. They were just, I mean, my mum's side of the family, they're more like hard workers and like, you know, it wasn't so creative. It was more like they got carpenters and stuff like that. And,
Right.
Yeah, so it's like.
Okay.
They were more like go to school, get a.
I'm
you
just
know.
gonna ask for a pause. Is his mic volume high enough? Yeah, we good. Are we coming through all right? Yeah. All right, you got a very softly spoken
Sorry.
R&B voice.
You want me
I
loud?
sweet boy voice, innit?
Sweet boy, he sings, he sings, he can't. He can't.
Don't want to
I'm
damage his
I'm
instrument.
trying to save it for the weekend. It's all right. Okay, I'll speak up. No problem.
Damage his instrument. Yeah, but that's what it is. Sound like money, bro.
Thank you very much. It's the truth.
It's the truth. All right. You know,
Sorry, the uninitiated, you know.
Thank you very much.
Us
sir.
artists understand these kind of things.
us artists. Ask Sirell to sing a song.
Yes.
So you said you're Ugandan.
Yes.
I said FIFA or Fufa.
Okay.
Do you know who Fufa is?
No.
Buddy?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
It is the Football Federation of Uganda.
Well, I mean, maybe I should look on my shirt. I've got a Ugandan shirt. Maybe it says it on it.
It probably a big logo.
I never
saying-
paid attention. Wow.
You just like, this is,
Yeah.
this,
But I'd
this
still
is
say
enough.
FIFA. I'd
You'd still say FIFA.
because I'm a football fan.
I like the way you support our people, bro.
I mean, FIFA is the whole umbrella, isn't it?
I couldn't care less, bruv. When it's my people, they have to come first, and then
It's,
other
it's
people-
basically like the FA, and it's a different federation. So
Oh,
Yeah.
I get it.
So, if we were to
FIFA though.
if we were to persuade those watching the podcast to go to Uganda,
Yes.
what would you say?
So, Uganda is the real Wakanda. So what you see on
You know what? I'm sorry. I like. You know what?
Big boy plan.
No. You have to get a high five.
who said
brother.
Uganda is the real Wakanda?
Do you know what people all of a
Rhyming.
sudden? And
I'm going to Wakanda.
I'm going to Wakanda.
It's just a trick. If you go and follow the trail of how they made Black Panther, because I'm a big comic book fan. Around that time, so Wakanda, just the name Uganda, already
makes
gives it
sense.
away. You're right. Oh, sorry. And then it was made in an East African country in the 70s when there was a dictator, and that's what Black Panther was fighting against. One of the most famous dictators was in Uganda in the 1970s, Idi Amin.
Idi Amin, right?
And so if you go back to when Stan Lee created Black Panther, all of those things are in it. And
That was going
the
on.
power is in the power's in the water. Uganda has the biggest warm water lake in the world, Lake Victoria.
In the world, not just Africa.
Lake Victoria.
Oh yeah.
So, and that's the beginning of the River Nile, and they believe that that's the fountain, where the fountain of youth
Of
is.
youth began,
so I'm
right?
just throwing it out there if you want to go check it.
I just share
Yeah,
it.
good plug.
Share
What
it.
time of year should we go?
Uganda.
You
I
should
like it.
go any time of the year because it's the real Wakanda.
It's the real Wakanda.
real
And they got
Wakanda.
vibranium over there.
My lawyer told me to make no comment.
I like that.
Brother, I'm alright with that, no vibranium, but them kind of raves that I saw, them festivals, even the burial ceremony, for me, that was like, yeah. That's bringing me.
I'd encourage anybody to go to Uganda.
So when last were you there?
In 2019,
Russ,
yeah,
you were encouraged
2019.
And now
Okay,
yeah.
so just before lockdown.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, I've got a house. out
you got to visit back there again.
You've got a house out there. Nice. So, and please at any time jump in, right?
No problem.
So, I also found out that you made a transition from gospel and the church through to R&B, becoming an R&B singer. Could you talk to us and share what that was about?
I think
And how that worked out.
I think it's just a natural transition. Like for most singers that you hear about, most singers kind of start off in the church. So for me, I always growing up, I never really saw people that looked like me on TV. So I felt like even though I was doing it, even though I was singing in the church, I felt as though, like, how do I say it? I kind of felt like my calling was to kind of be like, to be an example and be a light outside of, because you know what? How do I say it? It's like it's easy to sell coal to people that need it, right? But it's hard to sell coal to people that don't need it. So in the same sense, it's like that's. I feel like when you're trying to give a message or you're trying to make a difference or make a change, like in the church, you're singing to the people that Do you know what I mean? When you're
Right,
singing gospel,
of
you're
course.
just singing to.
Yep.
So
to
you got to
people
capture
like
an
that.
audience.
Yeah, but
Who's singing gospel to people that want to hear
Hear
gospel.
gospel.
yes,
Right,
but
fair
going
enough.
outside of that and putting positivity in your music, in a world that's crazy and people just want to hear about mad stuff. That's what kind of inspired me to want to go outside of the church. Does that make sense? Does that?
So-
No, I hear it.
So does that mean when you sing outside of the church and you're doing what I'll call your day-to-day job,
Yeah.
do you still tap into what was your initial calling, i.e. the church? Do you still try to have that influence in the music, or do you pander more to what you believe society likes to hear now? And
I mean, I just talk about what I feel and what I see and where I've been, and I think that you're just an example of what you believe. Do you know what I mean? If you just, I try and be positive, and I think that's the whole point of faith, not religion, like faith, like being positive and being an example in your actions. And so in my music, you will hear that positivity. You will hear that, like.
I mean, I've got a question. So there was one guy. He's a little, I won't say he's famous, but he's done well for himself. I don't know. You might even know him. He comes from a gospel background. Ryan Carter.
Okay, yeah.
You know him?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good singer. I used to work with him.
Okay.
But he didn't want to go. He's got a really good voice and really talented. But when he was working, he didn't want to go. He was in the gospel scene. He didn't want to go from the gospel scene to like an R&B. And I always used to say to him, "You're doing all this gospel stuff. You're big on the gospel scene.
Yeah.
Why do you not want to switch over to an R&B?" Type of thing. And he said, well, it's not what he was about. He was very much for his church and stuff.
Yeah.
So he found it hard to kind of say to himself he's going to switch from the gospel to the R&B. I think since then, this was years back,
Okay.
I think he's now kind of gravitated a bit more away from it. But I wouldn't say 100% because I know he still does a lot of things for gospel, and that's where he made his big plug. That's where he made his big movement.
Yeah.
Like, is that something where did you struggle to come from the gospel scene, or did you just kind of just say to yourself, well, look, this is what I'm talented, I'm doing my thing?
No, yeah, no. I just follow. I always follow my spirit, and I feel like, it's more to do with what you. I can't even think of the words. It's more to do with your actions and how you portray yourself, rather than like, oh, I'm a gospel singer. I think I'm a person who has faith, and I think it should show in my actions and my writing and me as an artist. I think I can touch more people by being in the world and being.
But then, would you now, if you're coming from the gospel background, which is what I think he spoke for, talking about sex and talking about like touching up, you know what I mean? These things aren't supposed to be things that you're supposed to be doing unless you're married, and so it's like, right, I shouldn't be. I'm not supposed to be doing that as a gospel singer.
Well,
do you know
again,
what I mean?
depending on what you believe in. Obviously we're talking. So, firstly, I've always questioned where in the Bible it says you're not supposed to have sex before marriage, and no one's ever told me, and no one's ever brought the scripture. I've gone into churches, and no one's ever telling me a direct place where it says that. So that I feel like is
Old
another
Testament,
conversation.
geometry.
hey, my brother, bring the Bible up. Come on now.
I don't know. That would have been good, innit? If I knew it,
No, but
I just slapped it.
Yeah,
down.
100%.
But No, I don't know.
And then on top of it, it's like in the if we're talking about the Bible, for example, yeah, not to go too mad, but if we're talking about the Bible, in the Bible, people did great people did lots of stuff, whether it was Moses or Joseph, or they were all like they did stuff. They were sinners, for example. The greatest people were sinners, and
They were human.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the most important thing. I think there's a song that says, "A saint is only a sinner that got back up." Do you know what I mean? That fell down and got back up. And I think that's what we forget when we think of holy people, and we hear these things. We think, oh, they don't do anything. But I think you're more a role model if you've been through things and you've. Do you know what I mean? And you can say, right, I've done that. I shouldn't be doing that. Or this is right, and this. Do you know what I mean? Like, me personally, I'm more likely to listen to someone who said, you know what, I've done some mad stuff in my life. Do you know what I mean? And I've realised that that's not the way I'm supposed to go, rather than someone who's never. Sorry.
No?
So what I was going to say is some of the mad stuff you've done in your life was stealing my line. Is mine. I'm not trying to share it.
We're still there. Yeah?
I hold on to feelings, bro.
You know what? Drop it in your next single.
Bro, you drop that in your next single. Feelings. I am
If you drop your next
plugging that.
single, I will then.
What if I drop yeah?
Yeah, bro.
Say, yeah,
That's in all- no, that's in all of
If
my
you
songs.
do that,
allow it.
I will release a diss track directly.
I said he was
I hear money
Kendrick.
coming. I hear money.
He said
I
he
hear
was
money.
Kendrick up in this.
I hear
Straight
money.
away, just
I mean,
And you know what I'll do? I'll take it a bet on you, CP.
thank you. The only thing
We're gonna make some money.
The only thing I will say,
of course.
is you said you'd done your research. So then, what that lets me know is you might have not, because you would have heard my songs.
I did some research, but yeah, it's mine, bro. So no matter what, I don't care where you go with
I'm
that.
playing.
It's like, do you know how much of this you're going to be edited out of?
I'm in trouble. I'm in
I'll
trouble. It's all
be
right.
saying, yo, there was a guy here. I don't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
You know what?
He was from Wakanda. Don't let him come with all them kind of talk
He was
there.
from
yeah.
Wakanda.
He was from Wakanda. So
Okay.
that's part of the national anthem or something out there.
Busking in the USA with your cousin.
Yes.
Talk to us.
So we wanted to see how good we were as singers.
1 second.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, you can't stop there. You need to.
Yeah, Unison.
Sorry, so I was in a group, and we got signed to a management company that was a subsidiary of Universal.
Sorry, I'm the guy that's going to ask you to call out names. You can't just say a group and then just.
We were called Unison.
Okay.
So we were like a boy band.
What do you mean, like a boy band?
We were a boy band.
Oh.
Sorry.
We were like a boy band.
You know what?
We were like a boy band with just gal.
Yeah, I was like, I
That
need
would sound
clarity.
cool,
I need
innit?
clarity.
You know when someone says, we was in a boy band? No. We was in a mandem group. Like, so you tried to...
No, we were a boy band.
Did you do the whole steps and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, let me just.
Imagine Buddy choreographing your team.
There was
Just listen to the fingertips. You don't need to do it. Just listen to
1,
the
2,
fingertips.
3, and 1, 2.
There was a lot of clicking. There was.
Do you want to give a shout out to
They're
the
not
people that were in
musicians
the
like that.
band
They're
with
not
you?
into the music like that.
Not really.
Okay.
Not.
How many members were there?
There was 4 of us.
4, but only
Yes.
Kazi.
But we broke up, and then me and my cousin continued singing.
I watched your team, bro.
Thank you very much. But
you
yeah,
get them-
I mean, I'm just letting the other guys know.
we're
saying
letting
that.
And the audience.
I'm still in my feelings. I can't even lie. I gotta work on this.
So then we decided that America is the place of R&B, and we wanted to see how good we were in comparison. So we got on a plane and flew out there, and then we just started singing on trains and singing on the street and trying to get into record companies, which we did and.
But
So how long ago was that? Well, give us some kind of timeline.
So I went to America in 2010.
So this is like pre-TikTok and pre-Instagram and all those kind of...
Otherwise, we'd have all the...
Yeah, so you were literally going out and saying, I'm putting my money where my...
Yes, 100%. We were... So, like I said, we wanted to see where we stood. Because, you know, everybody always says, oh, UK R&B, like, compared to Americans. And I've always been a fan of Frank Sinatra. And I saw the New York song, and I thought, well, he says, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. So...
Man, to that thing, literally.
Yes, I used to listen to it every day, like, yeah, and yeah.
But there's so many people that are out there in America doing the same thing. Do you know what I mean? There's so many people around the world doing the same thing, to be fair. But in America, obviously, they've got more population, so there's a lot more people thinking they can make it.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to stand out from the crowd. What was your unique selling point?
Well, I always say I work harder than anybody, but what I will say is, one of the cheeky things we used to do, we used to go to rec companies fully dressed with our suitcases, and we'd get the names of execs, and we'd go to the reception and we'd say, we've just landed from London and we're here to see blah, 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 I'm not going to say the name, blah, blah, blah. And you know how people are, the receptionist never wants to seem like she doesn't know, so she calls upstairs, hi, I've got Unison from London, they've just flown in, and then obviously the person upstairs doesn't want to, you know, they're looking in the diary and they're saying, has he got a meeting? And then when they ask the person doesn't want to look silly. So a lot of the time, we got through.
So they call it blagging, yeah?
Yes, well, I think,
London black.
I think you got to work some.
No.
It worked to our
So
favour.
why didn't you go to things like X Factors or Pop Idols and things like that? Why didn't you go through that stream?
I mean, I don't think that's for me. I mean, it's cool if that's how you feel, but for me, I think a lot of those things are not about the music. They're about the judges, the story. Do you know what I mean? Making.
But your story
anyone
would be good
something.
though, right? Come from Uganda, gospel side. You could got a voice. You're now traveling around, especially if you did the pop idol ones in America and that. And it would be like, oh yeah, I've flown over to America, busking, and now I'm here with my group. And they don't have a lot of groups that they want groups sometimes anyway.
Yeah.
Like the story kind of fits to make their mold where they want to go.
How many artists from Pop Idol or these kind of shows do you, like you personally, like and rate as artists?
I mean, was it Fantasia made it from there?
She's my girl though.
There you go.
Ollie Murs, I like Ollie Murs.
Little Mix, One Direction. I mean, there's loads of them. We can go through them.
I'm talking about the ones that won.
For me, I don't even.
We don't follow it enough.
But I do. I actually follow it enough to tell and say to you. I would say to you that the ones that don't win, all right, if they're talented enough, they can still make it. Do you know what I mean? There are some that the what's it, Alexander Burks and what's her name, like Leon Lewis, all right, who won it, all right, and they had great careers, but they've got amazing voices. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm not disputing that. But what my question was to you was, how many of the ones that have won do you actually rate? Because when you think about it like that, it's like you told me about the ones that didn't that didn't win, that got through, which suggests to me, if the show is about music and talent, like surely that would mean the best ones. The music game's not just about musical talent. But I'm saying that show professes to be about that. I'm not talking about the music game. I'm talking about, you asked me why you didn't go down that route. Yeah, but in my mind, that's why that was one of the reasons.
So it's the politics that you wanted to stay away from. Yeah. And again, it seems like you're asking about the whole industry itself. Why did you not follow that route? But Sweepy's kind of saying that, you know what, standing in the business, looking at it, it looks like it's not about the music. What his foundation is on.
That route is very tailored to fit into a certain narrative. And if that's not me, don't stand inside it, innit?
But because he's saying to you that he left London, flew out to the country, and started busking, started trying to make meetings with 100%. Managers that didn't know he was coming and execs. You know, it's a big step to take. It's a big blind step to take.
100%.
And through everything that you've done so far, what would you recommend to people behind you that are in that position you were, looking at wanting to break mainstream and wanting to come through, and now that the industry has changed because we have all social media, we have TikTok, we have.
I think the industry has changed, but the principle is still the same. So it's like, you know, hundreds of years ago, people were trying to get their music out, and in another 100 years, people will still be trying to get their music out. Obviously, the technology's changed, but the principle's the same. So I would say to artists, make sure that your determination and your drive and because you know when people say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So I think there's a lot of talented artists, but are they prepared to pay their dues? Are they prepared to go that extra mile? And that's why we went to America in the first place, because it was like, yeah, we could stay here and battle here, but we wanted to see how we would stand up.
Can I call bullshit?
Yeah, you can. Of course you can.
All right, I'm gonna call it. I'm a bit rough on here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how much of the shows you watch, right? So you're gonna hear a lot of shit probably come from my mouth most of the time. But do you know what it is? Like you said, there's a lot of talent out there. And when you turned and said to me just now that how you're not willing to, it wasn't for you. The industry is about the look. It's about. There's so much more to it. It's 100%. Not just about the voice. 100%. There is probably somebody about three roads away from here. Probably got the most amazing voice, but probably looks like Shrek, and is never gonna get that blow, because when they sing, they're like, it's never gonna work, bro, and get lost. That ain't gonna work. Your voice is good, but you ain't talented enough for that, and they get pushed to the back of the line. So it is about the look. It is about the story. 100%. It is about what can we do to boost this, because to be honest with you, that's the shit that sells.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? That's the stuff that I'm actually interested in. I'm actually interested in finding out your story, because do you know what? Some people would sit there and say Michael Jackson wasn't the best singer in the world, but his story and his coming up from a kid and whatever else not, that for me was like that was my idol when I was growing up. You know, it's the person I wanted to listen to.
Yeah.
But then there's probably singers that are way better singers than him.
Okay.
But who cares? You're not Michael. You never started at 5 and got blitzed by your dad.
You're not allowed to talk about Mike, bro.
I mean, the one thing that I would say as well is like, if you look on them shows, the people that, so for example, when they got artists to judge on it, most of the artists that judged it, they had never been on these shows. They never used these shows to get famous. So that to me, it's like the artists that I respect and I've seen and that are role models to me, they never went down that route to get to where they've got to.
So you think they only used their talent?
No. I think they had character, they had hard work, they had style, they had
Hard
a
work's
lot
not
of
enough.
things.
I'll be honest with you, it's not enough. I mean, I know people that work hard. I know talented singers. I mean, a backstory for myself. I used to have a studio. I had loads of people coming in around me. All right, and I've said to myself, you know, you're good, but great. Like,
You know, do you reckon
here we go.
Buddy was in the studio and called himself Biddy?
Such a dickhead.
Anyway, that's your point for the night, innit?
Sorry.
But when I was
Sorry,
there, I've seen talent, and I've seen so many people.
Sorry, bud.
Bro, you done?
Little bit.
I've seen talent, right? And I've said to myself, within that talent, all right, it doesn't mean to yourself that you're going to make it. You know why? Because your story's not good enough. Even if they worked hard, they struggled. There was one that I could just popped in my head. There was young, and I thought, because you're young, all right, and you can sing the way you can sing,
100%.
definitely going to bust.
100%.
Where are they now? Nowhere. I mean, it just didn't work out for them. Your story wasn't good enough. No one didn't want you because your story's not good. It's all about the image. So there's more to the industry than that. And I suppose from the podcast, maybe people there are singers that are listening to this, or there's people that want to get into the music industry that are listening to this, and they've seen you come on there, and it's like, well, how do they get on there? How do they move forward with it? Because you're saying that you've got to a certain point where you've got to. It's now how do they get to even that point and probably beyond?
Yeah. That's a question, or you
before,
question? Okay.
Before you even answer that, the next question is: the powers within the universe brought you here.
Yes.
Where are they taking you next? So the reason why I've asked that is the question that he just asked is what got you to where you are, and the follow-up question is where does it then take you after that? Yeah?
I mean, I don't want to obviously get too deep like that, but obviously I come from the church. I come from that background, so I've got faith and I believe in calling. So that's one part of it. If you have faith and you have calling and you have a purpose, because I think everybody's got a purpose, and I think it's really important to know that. Like, everybody's got something inside them that they want to do, that they dream about, and I think that's important to hold on to. But the second thing I'd say is, I believe I'm proof. I'm living proof that if you work hard and you build relationships and you go that extra mile, because a lot of artists, I work with a lot of artists as I produce and write, and a lot of people are not. We live in a time where a lot of people aren't prepared to go the full way. They want everything instantly, and it's. A lot of people don't realize how close they are to get to breaking that glass ceiling, because you know, you hear 1,000 no's before you hear your first maybe. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a hard, and I'll say 10,000 no's maybe before you hear your first maybe. And I think a lot of people, if you say that to a lot of people, they'll tell you, like, a lot of people say, oh, I want, for example, I had an artist that came in and said, I want to be a writer. And I said, and he was like, how do I go about it? And I was like, and I picked up a big box and I showed him full of books that I've written songs in. And he said, well, I've got to write all those songs to get to become a writer. And I was like, I haven't even written as many songs as, do you know what I mean? Best-selling artists. This is where I make a living. So if you're not even prepared to do that to get to where I am, how do you understand what I mean? So it's like, unfortunately, I've been blessed enough to be around legends, living legends, people that have done it, and I continually hear this same thing. Most people aren't prepared to go the full distance. They're not prepared to give everything to get to success.
No, and I'll agree with that. But I mean, some of what you're saying is talent only gets you so far.
Yeah, of course.
Is what you're trying to say. But it's like I said, I've seen so much talent: football, singing, acting. I've seen so much of it, and I think to myself, well, why haven't they gone? Why haven't they got to the levels of this? And some of it's luck. Do you know what I mean? Like some of it's who
Can
you
I
know.
ask you how many successful people you know that have made it because they're lucky?
Yeah, I was going to contest that whole luck thing. I'm not a
I
believer
don't know
in
if it's
luck.
luck. I mean, I don't know if I should mention his name.
Timing, I go with.
Because I think it'll cause too much controversy. So I'm thinking, should I go that far? But one person that used to go to a rival school of mine, and those that will know me will know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
And he made it. He's really big. Like he's actually like his household name.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm like, some of it.
But is it luck though?
Do you know, buddy? I agree with you. I think luck plays a point, and the reason why people struggle with the idea that luck plays a point because it's a fantasy.
It's something you have no control over.
And if you say to me, make a wish and it might come true, people can't measure that. So
Are we all football fans in here? Do we all
Yeah.
follow
Of
football?
course, yeah.
Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo is lucky? Have you listened to interviews? Have you seen the people
It's funny you
around
should say
him?
that. Recently on my feeds, his things have been coming through, and there was one where he said, "Yeah, there's no luck. I'm talented because."
he worked hard.
one second. Do you know what? Yes, he is lucky.
But he's lucky.
Wow.
Yes, 100% he is lucky.
Wow.
And
Elaborate.
I'll explain why. Buddy actually shared it, and as much as like I was doing the internal frowning, but he says he knows talented people. We all know talented people. And I was like, you will be a footballer because you are that great. But you know who made it as a footballer?
Gary Neville.
Not that guy. Not
Very
that
hard.
guy.
He worked
not
hard.
that guy.
They worked
but
hard.
that guy.
Do you know who his dad is? Do you know
But they worked hard.
But there was a point where you were at the right place at the right time.
And this is why I say timing.
So, at the end of the day, right place at the right time. Now, I was told about a video about the red car.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it? Have you heard about it?
100%. Yeah.
And please, I hate doing these things because when I'm not sharp on it and I get called out, I don't like it. But it's how many red cars did you see coming to the podcast today? 1, 5, 10, 16, 92, who knows? But if I said to you, for every red car you see, bring me a tenner, you would know exactly the amount of red cars that you saw. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not that, are you lucky? It's are you looking for
100.
the opportunity? And the opportunity is the red car. So because you're looking for the opportunity, you will find the red car. However, unlike timing, is taking the leap of going to the US with nothing lined up, no disrespect to
Yeah,
yourself,
no, 100%.
but nothing, just going there
Yeah.
and trying a thing.
Yeah.
Going there and being in a space where there's a possibility isn't based on just luck.
Okay.
However, luck plays a part. This is my belief.
Yeah.
Because we know, and do you know what? There's one person in my head that Buddy knows very well, who's a footballer, that hands down, 20 years ago, if he just switched, do you know, maybe one interview more or one assessment more would have been a world beater in football. Not just okay, a world beater.
Oh.
However, that train came, he went at the platform. Do you know what I mean? And it left without him. So
can I come at
the
you?
combination, as you say, of timing, I agree, but I also believe with the red car or the luck or whichever way you want to put it, you have to put yourself in certain situations to get yourself in certain situations
100%.
that create certain situations. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And
you
that's
know
it
certain
for me.
situation as well.
So
you know?
I'll come back at you at that. And I will use something that's very close to your heart. So one thing about myself and Citrus, when we were younger, we never paid full price. it was an offence to us, and we took it personal.
Okay.
If somebody asked us for a price and we paid that price.
Wow, okay.
It could be shopping.
Okay.
We're dropping bars, we're speeching you, we're saying whatever we have to say to get off whatever it is.
Okay.
To the point where sometimes we do it and I'm like, I felt guilty after doing it.
Wow.
You ask for a discount. I can't give you a discount. Give us your staff discount. I can't do it. Come on, how long have you been working there? And we will start to throw bars like, yeah, after 3 months, everybody gets discount and it works every time.
Okay.
Now, that wasn't luck. We went to go and buy a speaker.
Yeah.
This is probably the most prominent. We called up the store. It was on promotion from, let's say, £100 to £50 for us. I was about to go up. Down to about £50. Yeah. We then said, okay, hold it for us. We're coming to pick it up now. We went to the store. Don't know what happened. That speaker got sold.
Okay.
On that day, we gave the guy the guilt trip from heaven. We were like, I've traveled all the way, booked a cab, all of this for this speaker, and you've sold it. You're telling us there's no more. We need a speaker. We've got an event happening.
Okay.
He then sold us a speaker which was maybe £150 more for the same price of the speaker that we were going to buy.
Okay.
Now, it wasn't luck that made that happen. We were determined to outshine each other because it was a little competition between us. So if he had said, yeah, you can have it for £75, I'm like, £75? I can get that for £60.
Right.
And I'm becoming your friend. And it was never ever done in, and forgive the phrase, but a bad man way. You know, there was never that kind of, nah, you're going to give me a discount. No.
Yeah.
We're friending you up.
Right.
After that,
charm you to the point
that you want to give us
you
the
want to
discount.
give it to me, and you named your first kid after me.
You remember, I walk into the store and, what's happening? This, come on, I've got this special promotion. You want to buy this? Do you know what I mean? It was that kind of thing. Now, we don't do it no more, unfortunately.
You don't.
Unfortunately, we don't do it no more.
Who's me?
Yeah, he don't do it either. Man's paying full price for tyres. That's what I'm going to say. But the point I'm trying to make is that I don't believe in the luck because for us, that wasn't luck.
100%.
That was a sharpening of our skills.
100%.
And when you talk about going to the US to do these kind of things, I see that as a form of you sharpening your skills.
Yeah, 100%.
You're putting yourself to that test where you're like, they're going to say no.
Yeah.
However, I need to find a way
100%.
to make that no a yes or a maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
Because once I've got the maybe, from no to maybe is a big leap. But from maybe to yes, in our minds, is a very small, it's a very, very small.
100%.
So with a discount, we'll ask, it's £100? Can we have it for £25? Guys looking at us like, can't do £25. Come on, man. What, are you serious? The most we ever give on a discount is 10%. We now know 10% is what we're working for. So we've already bagged 10% in our thing, and now we're working on 15%. So to bring that back to you, and what Bud was saying, I don't believe in the luck thing.
No,
I believe timing, I believe determination, and I have to say, you know what, well done, my brother, to leave your yard, to go somewhere, to say, I'm going there, and I'm going to try a thing, and this is how I see it. You're trying a thing? Yeah.
I think something that, something that Bushkin always says to me is like, you've got to be there. Do you know what I mean? And just turning up every day. Do you know what I mean? Like, I believe that makes, when we talk about luck, I think that's what this luck thing comes from. It's like, if I didn't go to America, then I wouldn't have met those, the successes that I met. Do you know what I mean? And even when I went there and I met the people, I still had to portray myself in a certain way. I still had to perform in a certain way. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying when I'm saying people like Christina Ronaldo, even Gary Neville, even if Gary Neville's like, okay, let's take, for example, like Frank Lampard. His dad, his uncle, they're all in the thing.
He was always going to make it.
Uh-huh.
But look what he did. But he still had to work really hard to be
But
who
he was always going to make it.
Well, again,
it's the opportunity. Like, I'm not going to sit there and say I'm the most talented footballer out there, but given the opportunity, put in the right positions, it now enhances my chances and makes my ability put in a different.
But there's plenty of people that may have went. I remember that thing where the guy said to Harry Redknapp, he's rubbish, he's your nephew, and that's why you're playing him. There's a clip on YouTube where he says, why are you play? There's a better player. I think he's called him Lee Chapman or something like that, and he said he's better than him. And Harry Redknapp said, listen, I haven't never seen a player work as hard as him. One day this guy's going to be world class, right? And everybody's like, yeah, what are you talking about? But when you listen to the players that are around him, and they say he was there before they started training, he was there after he started training. That, to me, that's him making his own luck. That's him turning up every day. It's one thing turning up every day, but turning up extra early and doing the extra work. Because that's what I said. I said, are you prepared to give the extra? And when you listen to the big players, whether it be Thierry Henry, whether it be Messi, whether it be, do you know what I mean? These players, whenever you hear people talk about them, because it's not just, I don't want to just hear them talking, but when I hear the people around them that played football with them, and they always say, this person went extra, this person did extra, it's no surprise to me that they are where they are, or they are.
But given
So,
given the platform, and for me, like, you know the right, who you know will get you to certain places. And this is just a fact. If you know certain people, like if I knew somebody in the music industry that's high up, all right, just to use a stupid one, but I know Simon Cowell, he's my brethren. Yeah. Now I know him like I know Sirell and I know Citrus. All right, so I can just now call him up and say, yo, what's going on? Yo, Sweet Pea's in the studio today. Come talk to him. It'll get to the point where it's like we'll sign him up. What? A little bit of talent plus who you know will get you where you need to get to. Do you know what I mean? And so many, and especially when you bring it to football, so many footballers make it because of that. So even when you talk about a Frank Lampard, he was always going to make it. What level he made it to was dependent on how much effort he put into it. That was down to his talent and how much he's going to put into it. Yeah. But he was always going to make it. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't be a Sunday League footballer. Look at Revel Morrison, who's probably notorious for being one of the best footballers at Manchester United. Do you know why he didn't make it? Attitude was wrong. 100%. Didn't know enough people to say we're still gonna make you make it.
No, but here's the thing. No, but here's the thing. And when we talk about him, he got on the platform. Remember, he was at a professional football club. Remember, people were talking about him. Remember, he's playing for England, but. But the thing that you hear about him the most is his attitude. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying all those things, like, to me, it's like, if you have the right attitude, you're going to turn up at the right time. People are going to like you. Even if you're not good enough, people are going to say, what, that guy, I see him here every day putting in that, to me, that is making your luck. Like, someone seeing you go every single day for 3 months, before everybody, after everybody, that's going to catch someone's eye. You may have all the talent. Like you said to me, it isn't just about talent. You like Revel Morrison, he had all the talent, but when coaches are talking to him and maybe he has a bad attitude, they're going to think, well, why am I going to put my energy into that when there's this guy that's going to listen to
like
everything that I'm saying.
In it. Think about school for a second, right? And you think to yourself, once you've got a bad reputation somewhere, it just follows you in it. And that sometimes is another thing where it's like, I can't shrug this off. Like, and it's sad because it's not just down to, and which was the beginning part of our conversation, it's not just down to your talent. Of course. Like, I believe to myself, there are so many talented people. You might be the most talented singer that 100%. I've ever heard live. And I'm like, rah, you're so talented, but does that mean that you're now going to be making #1 hits that everybody's going to listen to? Or are you now just going to be somebody that I know that's really talented, can sing, but so what?
Sorry.
So I think we kind of the luck and talented thing. I think we understand this. Now I'm the one that's ever so slightly broken, so I'm gonna ask broken questions.
No problem.
Right. So just to kind of keep the podcast flowing and whatnot. So in the social media world and whatnot, you hear a lot of artists are now coming out with things that within the environment that are being done, and people are having to do things to kind of get their names out there and stuff like that. You've been in the industry. What kind of things have you come across that don't necessarily sit well with your moral compass, your beliefs, because you're coming from that kind of religious background, from gospel and whatnot? Have you ever encountered these kind of environments or places that you feel, I shouldn't be here? As much as this may be good for me, this is not something that I want to be part of. Or
I think in all businesses there's gonna be, because money, makes it you're playing with desire. You're playing with human desire.
Wait, just be careful what you say. You know, this is live. If there's desires and things going on.
No. I'm just saying, like, why in any? Because people think of the music industry and they just think, obviously, it's around us every day. We see it all the time, but they just think that it's just happening in the music industry. That people are selling their souls just in music. But I think in business as a whole, because it's not, business isn't corrupt. It's the people that make business corrupt. So,
whoa. Did you say business is not corrupt?
no, it isn't. Business is basic. It's just supply and demand, profit and loss. When you strip it down, that's what business is. But it's the people that make business complicated. Really, if you have something, I want to buy it. What comes into it is like ego. Oh, hold on a minute. Why should I sell it to him for £10 when I can sell it to him for, do you know what I mean, £50? That's human desire and characters come into it. So for me, you're going to find that if you're trying to get to the top end of your industry, you're going to find a lot of darkness because
there's a lot of it out there.
Of course, you're talking about money. You're talking about greed and desire and all those things.
So how do you traverse this minefield of, because as you say, there are people who are selling their souls and it's becoming profitable. It's like, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with this, but if this is what social media wants, and if this is going to get me 1,000 likes in 24 hours, then you know what, I'm gonna do this. I mean, I'm not telling you to do this now, but if you stood on the table and stripped yourself and whatnot, I guarantee you that, you know what I mean?
It might go viral.
It might go viral. So how do you keep your feet grounded is probably the best word, the best way of...
Well, my mum's a big role model in my life, and she always told me to remember where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. So I think if you always remember those things, I don't think it matters where you go. If you came, for example, I've come from humble beginnings. So no matter how far I get, I always remember the value of things. You know what I mean? And my mum taught me about loyalty and honor and things that, things that kind of hold you in good stead, no matter how the heights you go to. And, you know, I have fortunately been in some great rooms and done some great work and worked with some great people, but also I know where I've come from and I know what that would mean to turn against that.
Plus, you don't want to get your Wakanda passport revoked, you know?
No, you know, I do need to go back for the paper at some point.
You do something that these people don't agree with.
Yeah, it could be a problem.
It could be a problem. Yeah. You'll never find the place again.
No.
So, thank you for sharing all this as well.
No problem.
What's next for you right now?
Just more shows. I do a lot of shows, so more shows. Getting my name out there. Definitely putting out more music. So I've kind of working with Bushkin. He kind of had me as a kind of like on an apprenticeship and teaching me from his point of view about performing and making myself a better artist. And it's only really when I started working with him that I realised I was a producer. Do you know what I mean? I started producing records. So the future is more establishing that, establishing those different points of me, and letting the people know my character, as you said, and my story.
So where is your next performance? Where are you next? Where's your...
I'm in Ipswich on Saturday. I'm out every weekend. Festivals. We just did City Splash. We just did...
Is it City Splash?
Yeah.
We had a big podcast about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Well,
so where in Ipswich are you? And
I forgot the name of the club. If you go on my Instagram...
What's your Instagram?
It's sweetp.music.
Okay, we'll have it on the podcast website, you know, on the podcast, Instagram and YouTube, so you can get all his bios from there.
But a cheeky plug is I've got my birthday party coming up on the 26th of July.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Well said. That was wonderfully timed. It's a pajama party, so you're all invited, of course. Mr Wileycat is playing.
He don't come to the podcast, so he don't come.
It sounds messy.
So
when's your birthday? You don't need to give us the details.
My birthday's the 31st of July.
Okay, nice one.
But
so the podcast in the party.
I mean,
live on the road.
The next question is, Sir Man trying to get you a problem.
I see what's going on.
What's your audience?
That's a good question. My audience is, I would say my audience is people that like good music and like music that
It's far too generic.
I mean, that's how you feel about it. I mean, I
No,
don't-
no, no. It is.
Tell them.
I'll be
I hear
honest.
you.
You don't go on Spotify and say I like music, and then
Maybe you don't.
your name turns up.
Again,
I'm saying, what's your audience? There needs to be an audience that your music will.
He's trying to say, what's your niche, innit? What's your main? Are you sitting there saying that you're appealing more to the young girls? Are you appealing more to the man them? Are you appealing more to the older generation?
well, I mean,
Let me help you out. Let me give you
don't
some time. Let me give you some time. Are you a man that says, are you Cisco? Come like that and take your panties off. Or are you R. Kelly? Happy people dancing, that kind of good vibes. Are you,
I mean, R. Kelly's
R. Kelly
a great,
likes to piss on people.
Yeah,
I don't know where you're
Kelly's
going
a
with that
great
one.
listen, I try to stay away from that. I try to stay away from that.
I mean, I mainly make songs about love, but I've got songs about life. I would say, yes, a lot of my old audience is females, but
So you know the answer to the question.
no. But
I literally asked you the question just now.
Man's getting up for election.
What I'm saying is
I bet myself to lose £8,000.
I just got to be honest because I'm saying, even though that is my audience, like, I didn't choose that audience. I just made music
The
and
audience
they
chose
chose
you.
me.
All right, let me help you out. Would Buddy with his hard bed, and he's a young thing,
Yeah.
roof down, nice sunny day,
Yeah.
is he blazing your music out for women to oh, look at the little sweet boy with the...
I would hope I would think that he would like my music. I've got music for everybody. That's why I wouldn't just say, oh, it's only for them, because it's not only, it's for everybody. I think the greatest artists are the people who can translate. So, for example, to me, Jay-Z is the best rapper because he's translated to, a kid in Brooklyn is going to name him in his top 10. A kid who is posh and, is going to name him in his top 10. So that means he's transcended his culture. He's like, there's people in Australia that know who he is.
He's relatable.
Yeah.
Earlier on, you should have put on a quickfire Drake or Kendrick.
I can't. I mean, I like Drake. I like both of them. I just don't like them battling. It's boring.
Not the battle. I never said anything about the battle.
Okay,
I'm just saying
I'll
as
say
an
Drake. I'll
artist.
say Drake then.
So you think that as an artist, he's a better artist? Because you
Yeah.
never said rapper. We said we're talking
Yeah,
about
artist.
artists.
Yeah, 100%.
So, the boys don't know about this bit.
Whoops.
In my head, I've written about 13 bangers.
You've written 13 bangers, and they've got yeah at the beginning.
All of them got yeah. All of them.
Okay.
So, I'm going to give you the introduction.
Yeah.
I want you to finish the lyrics to this song. Whew, because you're a songwriter.
No pressure.
He's a ghostwriter, but he's not allowed to reveal
Who he goes for it for?
Who he holograms for.
Hologram.
Ghost.
Goes for it.
It's fine.
Oh,
it's fine.
sorry, my bad.
It's fine.
Okay.
We got you. We read the whole script before you. Okay, so
Yes.
do you want Relly and Buddy to get involved in this song? Or have you
Of
got it?
course. If you.
So I'm going to give you the
I know
introduction
nothing.
Okay.
to this song, and
Okay.
you need to come up with the next set of lyrics.
Okay.
This is how talented you are, right?
We'll try it.
1 second, the boss lady just got up and just started saying, she's giving me, you know, the airplane signals like to say,
Oh,
no.
let's see, but
All right,
I'm interested.
We're allowed to go. All right, let's go.
This is interesting.
All right, so you have to write this song on the spot. You got this, producer? All right. She's standing right there, beaming like a star.
She's standing right there, beaming like a star. This lady has changed my heart.
I was going to go if got no bra.
This is why I don't do this shit.
I'm like, that was the most obvious thing there for me.
No, I'm
But
not. I mean,
I said don't ask me, fam. I'm not even trying to lie.
No,
about this.
I was saying to rate his. This is on the spot, bro.
What was your one against again? I like the brating. The brating threw me. The
I'm
brating
gonna
threw
go to the
me.
next
he's
one.
got it.
I'm gonna go straight to the next
the
one.
We're working
works.
together. It,
I mean-
it had the shock value.
Yeah, the
definitely.
shock value worked. I was like,
It
bro,
works.
that's what stuck
It
with me.
was, such a bad idea sharing my pin.
It's such a bad idea sharing my pin. No, it wasn't a bad. It was such a bad idea sharing my pin. So I played the lottery and got the win.
Really?
Because now all I can think of is you in.
I'm ready.
You know what? I need to put this guy.
I need to work with you
with the
fella.
win thing.
I need to work with you. Wow, okay.
Also slightly broken. Like I said, you can't play my tunes
I'm
to
just.
the family.
I'm just.
Then you can't play.
All right. The next lyric.
Yes, sir.
As the door closes and the mind opens.
As the door closes, the mind opens.
You got this, yeah?
You got this.
As the door closes and the mind opens,
The panties.
say it. No, say it. Please.
And
Please
the-
say it.
No, the panties and the.
We're working together. I want to hear it. Say it.
I'm out. I'm observing.
Nah, yeah, my thing will get shut down.
Say it. I want to hear it.
You're not gonna say the panties drop and the legs open now. You're not gonna work at this thing. I mean, I'm trying to help here.
I wouldn't say it. It works though. It
Yeah,
works.
yeah,
It works.
I'm gonna go to the next. I can't control these guys now.
I need a couple more drinks, but
This is from you, right?
Wow, okay.
The next one.
Wow.
My music always speaks. Now to give it a voice.
I'm living in my dream. I'm living in my dream because of my daily choice.
Okay, I like that one. I like that one. That was my favourite one. I think that was my favourite one.
I thought the panties drop and the legs open. But
It's all PG. It's all PG.
Okay, the last one.
Yes.
I used to think life wasn't worth living.
Wow. Okay. We've gone deep. I used to think life was not worth living, and now, no. I used to think life was not worth living, and now.
Buddy, you have to give him a beat, bro.
but
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just give them that. We could just give them that.
All right, we're going to move on from that.
It's not how it normally works.
It's fine, but this is how we have to test your...
Okay, no,
This is real life.
You
This
know
is
what I
real
mean?
life.
All right, so this is the MT podcast. This is Man Talk. MT actually are the two letters for Man Talk.
Wow, okay.
And in Man Talk, we talk about men topics.
Okay.
Topics that you may or may not be comfortable bringing up around females.
Okay.
So as we are in Man Talk, what are the man issues that you would like to actually talk about?
Wow.
So I'm going to give you a second to think about it. I'm going to go straight to my brother Buddy and ask him, shall we ask Sirell to answer the question?
yes.
Ready. What are the man topics you would like to talk about?
I would like to talk about how, as a father, and you have a son, how you motivate your son into a mindset that opens up his view of the world. Because at the moment, and let me give you a little bit of insight on that, I understand that's quite cryptic. At the moment, there are people making money online and living a very comfortable life from the silliest things. I mean, at the moment, it's
Like
probably...
Buddy's got a TikTok shop.
Yeah. So at the moment,
What? Is
there's
it
selling panties, but at the moment, there's one on TikTok where this young lady makes a statement and it's blown up in the last week.
I know
The
you-
hot to,
A hot sir.
she's now selling hats.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
She's selling hats.
The
and the ones
reggae
that are
tune was
signed
wicked.
are like
I think it's
25.
hot. I think it's 170k was made
One sentence.
on the first day.
Wait, who makes the money though? Was it not the guy that did the interview?
Let's not digress.
Or the reggae beat?
You see? This is what I'm talking about. So, and thank you for doing that because that shows my point. Straight away, you picked up on this. She made how much? thousands, millions, hundreds. I don't know. I'm not in that kind of arena. But she's made that much money from, and luck, from time, place, right place. How do you then convince a young person, it doesn't have to be a guy, but a young person that, you know, don't wait for this luck, right time, right place, focus on something that, even if you're chipping away at it, at the end will get you to a form of a goal, rather than this kind of living on a whim where, you know, I may make it by just saying the right statement, and I may make it by being at the right place at the right time, and that kind of stuff. How do you translate that to a young person to say, don't look at that, look at this, or look at both of them, balance the two of them?
Yeah.
That's something I would like to do, to be able to.
So just to simplify, to get to a succinct question, there's the quick and fast life,
which is lucky.
or the slow and steady path.
There's win the lottery, or there's go to work.
Toss on the head.
Education.
So, Sweet Pea,
You're asking me-
what are your thoughts on this? So I'm still waiting for you to come with your topic.
Yeah,
you can't escape it like that. But based on what Sirell shared with you, speaking to a young person, and I know he said a son, but you have to respect our ages.
Okay, I understand.
Our children are of an older status.
Okay.
So they are observing these things online, and they are making statements or setting aspirations based on these kind of images and videography that's being shared with them and plowed to them relentlessly by the power of the algorithm on the internet. So what advice would you share with a young person that may aspire to be you, be like you, or someone that you might mentor?
I guess we would all agree that that thing is foolishness, right? We'd agree that that's foolishness.
Well, you can't call it foolishness.
I can't. As much as I appreciate what you're saying,
No,
I can't say
You
it's
can't call it
foolishness.
that.
I'm asking within this space, do you think it's foolishness?
Okay, if it was my
Brilliant.
kids that were doing this, I would kind of resort to this is a foolishness. This is not a life choice career. However, as this young thing over there said,
It's not for me.
No.
it's making waves.
But like throughout history, people are gonna make money off mad things. Right? I'll say something controversial, yeah? People that do animal porn make money. You know that, right? That's a fact. That doesn't mean that it's good. That doesn't mean that.
I thought they only did it to break the law.
No, but people buy into it. People like, do you know what I mean? People make money from it. Does that mean that?
No, let me finish.
Sorry, does that mean that I'm supposed to say, oh, okay, because they're making money off that, like that's a good way to make money? If there's people that make money off selling drugs, am I supposed to say, oh, because they've made hundreds of millions of dollars, that means that's a good thing? So,
say trillion.
Trillion, sorry. So then obviously,
All of a sudden, my man thought himself, wait, trillions? Wait, maybe this singing thing ain't for me.
yeah, exactly.
And drugs. Bus.
What I will say, sorry,
deal with that, bro.
we're definitely not going down that road. But what I will say is, I would say to them like, who inspires you? Do you know what I mean? And when they tell me who inspires them, I'm pretty certain that, for example, most of the people are gonna be of people that have done the work, put the hours in, and given. So, for example, they might say, oh, this girl right now is great, but the people that they really rate, for example, the Justin Biebers or the Beyoncés or the Floyd Mayweathers or the Anthony Joshuas, those people, there's more solid examples in society than these
Quick. So KSI, you know what he got famous off of? Shouting at his mum. When
Yes,
she used to come in and watch him play computer games, and he shouting at her, and it's still music, because people used to watch this.
Yeah.
He got hits off of that. Then he started doing stupid things. He's a nerdy little kid.
Yeah.
He's a multi-millionaire now.
But
I don't know, how did you do that?
The one thing is he's been consistently
What,
making
consistently doing stupidness.
Yeah, but
so
no.
consistently going huck to.
no.
That's your opinion, yeah?
What
That
I'm-
whole stupidness thing is your thing.
But when you're sorry, sweet. Like, when you're sitting there screaming at your mum,
Yep.
get out of my room, and
Yep.
doing all the foolishness that he was doing, it's foolishness, bruv.
Yep.
Because I'm not watching that. That's foolishness, dumbness, and you're disrespecting your mum. But hold on a second. Right now, mum's like, disrespect me some more. We made millions. We are now on the map. We now invested. We were part of Prime.
100%.
We're making millions. We're done money now.
100%. But
I
again,
can't sit there and say Huck is stupid now no more because now Mrs.
But what I'm saying,
is great.
what you did say, you used KSI as an example, and you said the way that he got famous was foolishness, getting shouting at his mum. I'm not going to put KSI in the same space as I'm going to put Jay-Z. Like if you break it down, and to me, it's even though they might have made the same money, he might even have more money than Jay-Z. I doubt it, but let's just say he did. It still doesn't. Do you know what I mean? It's like when people start saying, the misfits fighters, and you're going to put them against the.
But let me show you
real
this.
boxers.
It
It's not
depends on
about-
what he does next. Do you know what I mean? Because now he's made his money. If he now he uses it in a positive way and does positive things, all of a sudden he escalates himself into that positive light and gets on that level of Jay-Z and the people that you're idolizing and saying about on that level. He gets there on what he does next. He's now made it. How he made it is irrelevant. Like 50 Cent. When 50 Cent became famous, 50 Cent became famous from cussing everybody in the rap industry.
No, he became famous from being a good rapper. That was cussing everybody.
He cussed everybody in the industry. I never. He made a diss track and he was cussing everybody in the industry.
But the diss track had to be good. He had to rap. He rapped well.
But he got people's attention
Because he rapped well.
Yeah, but you're not seeing what he's saying. You're right. He did this everybody, but he did it good.
Yeah. There's lots of people that do rap tracks, but they're not good.
People can do it good. There's probably people that have done it better than him. Let's be honest, all right? And can do it better than him. Let's be honest. There's probably people out there can do it better than him, all right?
We don't
There's
know
people
who
in
they
the
are.
underground. Papoose was one of the biggest underground stars
And he
at
got-
one point. He just didn't commercialize himself in the right way.
And he got $1 million deal. And
He didn't do it the right way.
yeah, but that's more to do with himself.
That's management
As a
and-
rapper,
yeah.
as a rapper, he was better than 50. As a hip hop artist, he was better than 50. He just didn't know what to do with it. And 50 is too funny, and you can't mess with 50.
Again,
50 hits.
But again, they both got onto a platform, and that, to me, it's like if you're not on they both got onto a platform, and then it's about what you do at that platform. So, for example, again, I'm going to go to the football thing. Many players have signed for Real Madrid and flopped, but how come there's people like, for example, like Gareth Bale got there and then he's done well? Because when you listen to the people that play with him, they tell you, my man put this time in. When you hear about players that didn't do well, a lot of the time it's like he was out drinking. Do you know what I mean? The money kind of
Took it for granted that now that I'm here, I made it.
And when you look at 50 and you look at what he's done, you can see his attitude.
It's still grafting now.
Is about. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Papoose, when you look at what he's done on that platform, I can see it's like it's not the same attitude.
He didn't
It's
know
not
what to
the
do.
same.
He did, but I'm being honest, like the 50, what I'm saying, how 50 made it, my original point was how 50 made it was by dissing people, and then he made it from there. Because it was about 3 or 4 diss tracks he made out.
But you're still not acknowledging he was a good rapper. That's why he was able to
He was
do those.
okay. I'm not going to sit there and say that he's the best rapper of all time or anything like that. He was okay. He was good.
So you didn't.
He was funny.
So that
Still funny.
So that Get Rich or Die Trying album isn't
Brilliant.
one of the best.
It's amazing. It's one of the best
rap
albums ever.
No, one of
Alright?
the best rap albums.
Yeah, but I'm talking about before he got to Get Rich and Die Trying. I'm talking about when he made the diss tracks that got him that got him noticed. And I'm saying, like, similar to when he was using KSI, it's like what got him noticed? It was foolishness. Do you know what I mean? So the same way we're talking about Mrs. Hucktor, all right, as I'm calling her that now, it's my name for her, all right.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the foolishness. You're saying, do we now tell them that a foolishness, a luck, just a random piece of crap might get you there? I might get up now, stand up in the air, fall over. All of a sudden, everyone's like, "Oh, that's the fall over guy.
But
that's the fall over guy."
again,
I bust from that.
100%.
Now, what do I do next? From being the fall over guy to
100%.
bring myself. And what 50 did, which was amazing for him, is he done the Get Rich or Die Trying. He done movies. He done he done blew himself. He's got the Power series. He's done so much brilliant stuff now. All of a sudden, he's gone.
But he
do you know
didn't.
what I mean? So now you forget how he started.
No, we don't. I'm not forgetting.
Well, the people that don't
what I'm trying
really
to
know
say
about
is, if he didn't just come from foolishness, because hip hop was based on the competition. people going against each other from the beginning of hip hop. So you can't say that was foolishness. That was within the realm of hip hop. What
It
he
was
did,
part of the process.
Yeah, it's part of what he did. He challenged other rappers. He
challenged everybody. Not even just one. He challenged everybody.
But that's been the story.
But
in
nobody's ever
hip-hop.
done that. It was
challenged
just challenged everybody. He dissed everybody. He just came out with the shot. I'm dissing you.
Most people dissed
Okay.
one person at a time. He dissed everybody, but he dissed but he rapped well on the record. He was a good rapper. That's why he got to the platform, and from that platform he went. I'm not talking about. You're talking about people that just did anything, fell over on the floor, and got. Why come so fast? And then you say, "Oh,
what's his name?"
That's what I'm
again?
talking about. I'm talking about. He would have had to work hard to be a good rapper.
If I say an incident, you lot will remember it. But the guy that done the eating out on the New Year's.
Yeah, the guy on the stairs.
Mr. Sirell.
Sirell, there you go. Dominic Sirell. I couldn't remember his name for a hot second. You know, we have to get to Christmas for me to remember his name. But basically, there was one of my guys that he's a comedian, but he worked with me at the time. And he said what he did when it happened, he just didn't do the right thing to make that thing now. He was a celebrity. And he took it the wrong way.
Okay.
He just didn't know how to make himself bust
Because
from
that was then. And if that happened now, there would be dildos named after him, there would be Viagra tablets named after him, and
He didn't know what to
lip
do.
gel after him. But it wasn't that time. Things have changed now. haven't
No,
they?
he didn't know how to use it. And it was funny because the comedian I was working with at the time, he sat there and said to me, he just didn't know. If it was him, he would have gone clear with that. He would have turned and said, yeah, they would have made freaking gummy bears out of him.
Yep.
He said every New Year's he still gets brought up, but you're still sitting there lying under a rock. He lost his job. He was fighting people. Somebody saw him one time on the train and he started fighting them because they were trying to take pictures and saying, oh, look who I just saw. And he's still using it in the wrong way.
But to go back to the original question, right? Are we talking about just making money, or are we talking about like
Legacy.
yeah? Because ultimately it's like these people, like the Hot Two Girl.
That's what I call it. I like it.
In 10 years' time, like that guy, no one cares. We don't even remember the guy's name, right? That's the funniest part.
We all know Dominic Sirell. It's been over 10 years.
I mean, like people now don't know his name, but people know Lionel Richie's name. People know
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, they know that because it's built on.
But it's what you do with it. So Mrs. Hot Tour, as we're calling her, all right, if she now turns and says to herself, I make a tune off of it, I'm now turning, I'm in a record company, I'm now selling this, and I'm doing, all of a sudden she grows herself, all of a sudden everyone's like, right, how did this come about? Remember that interview that she did, and she said Hot Tour, and then all of a sudden they made a tune out of it, and now she's grown, and now she's now turned and said to herself, I'm a big singer, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm now giving money for kids, she's blown herself, and she's used her platform, which is something we've spoken about several times on the podcast, all right, using your platform to push yourself and elevate yourself into different categories and elevate your who you are. Make yourself legendary.
So I'm going to jump in at this point. And this doesn't happen a lot, but I don't disagree with you.
Man said it like it's a comet. Every part's a planet.
No, because he is right. And what comes to mind are things like Made in Chelsea, The Only Way is Essex, Love Island. These people have no talent. When I say no talent, let me not be disrespectful.
No, it's facts.
The talent they have isn't representative on the platform they've got.
Of course, but
Right.
they're not. Are they going to be remembered in the same veins as these people that have made legacies? So for example, yes, they made money and they've had a bit of sunshine. But because you asked me about what I'd say to a kid, I would talk about people after in 100 years' time. Yeah, like people are still going to talk about Michael Jackson in 1,000. I could bet everything I have. In 1,000 years' time, people are still going to talk about Michael Jackson.
There's going to be an apocalypse before that. I'm happy to cash in.
But are they going
on
to
that
talk
bet.
about? But in 100 years' time, are they going to talk about Made in Chelsea?
Are they going to talk about Logan Paul?
I doubt it.
Are they going to talk about Logan Paul?
The only reason why they'll talk about Logan Paul is because he fought Floyd Mayweather, who has a legacy. Other than that,
Do you think they won't talk about him otherwise? Look what he's done.
What I'm saying is, his legacy is only based off people that have a real legacy.
I appreciate what
if
you're
he fights
sharing.
Mike Tyson, then it's going to come up in his thing that he fought the youngest ever heavyweight champion. Like that's other than that, Even
So you
even
think only
100
because
years.
of the boxing stuff is how they're going to be remembered? They'll be remembered for more.
And the thing is, he's got a very good point, because you have to remember there are a lot of people who are in places of power, money, influence, but they don't have the legacy.
100%.
And
You know what?
they
I'm
partner
not,
up.
I'm not accepting any of this.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you why. I'll
Okay.
tell you why. So use your own story, right? You said you travelled over to the US and started hustling. Some of the people that get on platforms are only there because they started hustling. And whatever that small hustle was that got them onto the first platform to allow them to get onto the next platform, whatever that looks like, we don't know that part of their story. Because their story didn't begin there for us. Their story began there because, oh, rah, my brethren Kojo is on Britain's Got Talent. But you weren't standing in the youth club with him when he was telling jokes to me and the boys, and we were saying you're shit. Simple. That's just the small break of when you turn around and dissect it all down. And I'm not turning around saying we need to do this. I don't think this is popular enough content with your knowledge and your experience to be able to extract from the next 22 minutes that we've got. So I would prefer to steer the conversation in a direction, not to take away or deplete what my brothers have said, but coming back to you now and saying this is man talk and you're going to blow up. We're already putting it out there. This is going to be big.
Thank you.
Right? This is going to happen. You have to thank me. You're the one doing the work. We're just here to take this little snapshot that you may or may not remember in 6, 12 or 30 years time.
Well, every time I say yeah, I'm going to remember.
Yeah. No.
When you go around telling people, yeah, sit on the same sofa as me, we shook hands.
No, but I'm not on the same sofa.
I was talking for myself here.
However, the thing is, one thing that, selfishly, if I could talk about myself, there are young people's lives that I've touched.
Well,
and how I affected their lives 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, a month ago. I bask in the glory that when I see them, I get a smile that's so genuine because I gave them a little bit more energy than they were getting from anyone else in that moment in their time.
okay.
So that inspiration that they felt from me at that moment, that bared relevance to them, and I can now rest knowing they've got that level of happiness.
Okay.
So the question to yourself is, what young person that now meets you, in your head and in your aspirations, what energy would they be pulling?
Again, I can't say it enough about, I think, hard work. Like being around someone like Bushkin, who's a living legend. He's taught me a lot about humility, Shameen, and just being, just always being there, just giving more than the next person. Like that person's gonna give 100, make sure you're giving 150. Do you know what I mean? Because, like I said, I'm gonna listen to him because he's a legend. He's done it, and he's still doing it now. It's not like he's just stopped. So I would hope that a younger guy would come and see that, would see how hard I work and how much I sacrifice to be where I am now, and all the energy I've put in, and how, you know, it's late nights and early mornings.
Buddy, is hard work and sacrifice enough?
No.
Really? Is hard work and sacrifice enough?
Yes. Citrus. It's hard work and sacrifice enough.
To build a platform for you to
hard work and sacrifice is not enough.
in your opinion.
No, it's if you,
Because I
the
feel
funny
like
thing is,
I'm living proof of it.
No.
So
go on.
this is never a knock on yourself, right?
No, I know, but I'm just throwing it.
So I've been on the earth for enough decades to be able to share that. I'm not even saying I was the most hardworking. I'm not even saying I gave the most in sacrifice. But what I will share is I've seen people do 5% of what you shared with us, and where they are, you're like, how did that happen?
Can I come back
But
at
you
you at that
can't
on one
see-
thing? the one thing I will say, and sorry to cut you there, is that one thing that Sweet Pea made very clear was that he also has a standard, a moral compass, a view, a vision of where he'd want to be. And that is his foundation. His foundation was built off religion, it was built off faith, it was built off a principle that he was born into, that he was educated in, and that's what he believes in. So even if the opportunity may have come up in the past, I'm speaking for you and obviously correct me if I'm wrong, that he could have excelled, but it meant coming off this foundation, he was deviating off because this is the foundation that his belief is. This is where his moral confidence is saying, this is what I believe in, this is where my standards lie, this is where my values lie. So if you're saying to me, well, you know what, put on a skirt, put some makeup on, sing in high pitch, wear high heels, whatever the case may be, and that will progress me in my career, I'm not prepared to do that. This is what I believe in, this is what I want to stand on. And I believe this is something that is lost now with a lot of artists and a lot of people, not just in like the entertainment industry, but within themselves. I don't want to call them sellout because ultimately, look, the world has changed. From the world, I'm comfortable to say that I'm in my 40s. And when
40s?
I was yeah, I look good in it. But anyway.
I thought you was a young thing.
Yeah, straight up. When I was in my 20s, there are things that I was prepared to do that were not necessarily a foundation that I believe in now. So Bud asked me a couple episodes ago, please go back and look, if I would buy something from someone if I knew it was stolen at a discounted price. And I said to him, no, I wouldn't. When I was younger in my 20s, bring that thing, come, how many more you got? I'm buying that one and shutting the rest. But now, I'm not bringing that 65-inch TV that I know was stolen and hanging it on my wall for something to happen, someone knock on the door, and then I'm now got to explain that I bought it from Bud.
There's a lot to lose,
Yeah, you understand what I mean? Now, apart from losing, it's just not something that my moral compass is prepared to do.
Okay, I get it.
That stature of, yeah, if I know or I've got an inkling of this being that way, my compass won't allow me to go that way.
100%.
Call it the moral high ground or whatever it is, or just call it education or call it growth within me. I just won't follow that way. So I see where you're coming from, and I'm feeling this sofa vibes.
Thank
you know,
you.
we've got this kind of.
Let me just shake your hand.
Yeah.
Do you want to hug my mic? Let me just slap the mic.
Yeah, but you know,
Do you want to hug or something? What's
Don't worry about it. When it busts, and I can tell my kids.
When it busts,
When my
Rod
kids.
said, this thing get enough different. So, when it busts,
So essentially, I get it, and I'd love to say that it's enough. Life has taught me
it's not.
that there has to be another aspect.
But can I jump in?
Of course you can.
Because you said there's some people out there that haven't done 5% that I've done, but they've gone up there. Like, the only thing is you don't know what they've done. Like some people around me might be like, oh yeah, you just got to work with Bushkin, and they don't even know what I've done. They don't know how many late nights I've had. They don't know how many days I've spent doing what I'm doing, because they say, oh, you got nice clothes. They think that it just came like.
So you don't see that box
Can I
that you
ask you a
wrote?
question?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Can I ask you a question? How did you meet Bushkin?
Funny enough, I met him through a producer that me and this producer had fell out. I'd just come back from Jamaica. I'd done an album in Jamaica.
Sorry, Sweet Pea. He's trying to say, don't say luck. Whatever you do, don't say luck.
Let him talk.
No, it wasn't luck, because the thing was, it was opportunity.
It was
opportunity and hard work. Because ultimately, I'd fallen out with I'd gone to Jamaica. I'd just worked with the late great Bobby Digital. So in my mind, one of the things I want to do is win a Grammy, and he's the only reggae producer to win 2 Grammys in a row. He'd done it with Shabba Ranks and all of that. So in my mind, it's like, I'm well on my way. I've made an album with him. I'm well on my way to winning a Grammy. I get back to London. I get held in London because there's a hurricane, and my godfather passes away, and all these things. I'm a spiritual person, so it kind of...
All this luck. Carry.
No, all these things happen that make me think that I'm not going to go back to Jamaica for now.
Fate.
Right?
Carry.
So anyway, this producer calls me, and he's like that we'd fallen out with before, and he's like, oh, I see you're back. Would you come and do a writing session? So I'm like, cool. I'm gonna win a Grammy anyway. I'm going back to Jamaica and win a Grammy. So I go to this session. There's a guy there who works with Bush. He hears that what I've done, here's what we're doing, and he introduces us to Bush. And then I meet Bush. We start working together. Bush, in his mind, already has an artist that he wants to work with, and I fitted that bill. I didn't know this, but that's what he had in his mind. Now, all of those things, even though it's going to sound coincidental, and I mean, obviously, it's going to sound lucky, but just like what I said at the beginning, had I not done what I was meant to do, the guy wouldn't have called me, because it's my hard work and my talent that made him call me and say, you know what, even though we'd fallen out, he knew how good a writer I was, and he still called me back. And on top of that, I've gone and I've worked with this great producer, and even that is a testament, because I could have gone there, he could have been like, you're not that good. But my hard work and my talent allowed me to be in, because there's a saying that says, your talent will put you in front of kings. Do you know what I mean? And then, but when you're in front of the king, now, if you've put the time and the work in,
so when you say to yourself, even down to, it's not nothing, none of it's been down to who you know. I mean, so for example, I wouldn't know those people if I didn't work hard. But when I hear people like, I mean, I think Justin Bieber's probably even a decent example. He made himself off of YouTube, so he went on YouTube. So he's using his talent. Yeah, now, and working hard consistently. This is him using his talent. He used his talent, and people noticed him from that, and then he's gone from there. That's using your talent for me. All right, used his talent, and they've noticed him from his talent. All right. Yeah. But there are a lot of people that will come into the industry through I now know you, and I tend to say, you know, my son sings, big boy singer. Let me introduce you to my son. I introduce him to you. He sings for you. He's like, rah, wicked singer. And like, all right, then cool. Let me introduce him to Bushkin. All of a sudden, there's the link. Now he's talented. Do you know what I mean? Really talented kid. But there's the link. You got the luck through the fact that I've come and I've sat down here, I've spoken to you, said, yeah, introduce you to my son. Yeah, of course. Then there's the link. But your talent. It goes back to what I said. Who you know. Yes, but your talent puts you in front of kings, because if you are not good enough, like if your son's not good enough, firstly, it's like you're going to see your son working every day, and you're going to, unless you just put him there and he's rubbish, but if there's a reason why he's good. You've got to practice to be good. It doesn't just happen like you wake up in the morning, you can sing. Like, you may be able to sing to a level, but for the level of to come to me and say, this guy's really good, and you show me him, and I'm like, wow. I meet singers all the time, but I can assure you the singers and artists that break through to come to the label we're at, they've worked hard. They've done their thing, and then that brings them in front of. My last point is more a case of I used to go on YouTube a lot and look on like cover songs for people's artists that are singing, and you go on them, there are some amazing cover singers 100%. Of some great songs. Just go through it and just listen to cover singers. They're wicked ones that are out there. And I always listen to them and think, how do you not make it? Your voice is 10 times better than his voice or her voice, or you know what I mean? I'm like, your voice is amazing. Why are you not there? And they never make it. And I'm sitting there thinking, how do they not make it? Because their talent is amazing. Do you know what I mean? And this is where I'm trying to say, your talent, they're vocalizing their talent on a stream where TikToks and Snapchats and YouTube, and they're not able to advance that next stage because people have seen it. I've seen it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I'm not taking it any further because I'm like, meh, I'm listening to it, I like it. I might follow their channel, but sit. And they're not going any further. It's not down to their hard work, because they will busk, they'll do all the other stuff that other people have done. They're just not. They don't have the right connection. And the people that have got the right connection, they're the ones that make it. No matter what. I mean, I'll close with this as well. But no matter what you say to me, and I appreciate your opinion, and I'm definitely listen. I will always listen to people that have been there and do or at that level to say to yourself, it's not just that. But I do realize to myself, it's who you know. You make one good connection, and that connection can make you go leaps and bounds. And I'll use one of the people that I actually do know. So Lethal B made his he's gone now. He's gone clear. 100%. And he gone clear, and it wasn't because of his talent. He's talented, all right. But he made a record. He made Power. He said, "Pow, lethal to be, pow, lethal to be."
I mean,
he didn't spit on it.
it's a great record.
It's a great. He didn't actually spit on it. He got other people from the ends to do it for him, and yet still he made the money. He made the connections. He then made his albums off of it, and he went on he busted. Now he's Lethal B.
How hard working is Lethal B?
How hard working is he? As a person, he had connections. He had a leg up. To be fair, he did have a leg up.
From what I've seen of him, he's he's working harder than most MCs.
He does work up, but he had a leg up.
I know, but I mean, it goes back to my point.
Isn't that just rewarding his hard work?
Yeah.
Bro, he had a big leg up. I mean, I'm not going to go into the whole leg ups that he had, but he had a leg up. And he done that, and he got to where he got to. And he done a couple smart business moves, which I look back at now. I mean, he might have cut off a couple people, whatever, and hurt a couple people, but he made some smart business moves to get him where he is now. And he's done what he had to do to get where he is now. And I commend him. I know him, and I think to myself, kudos to him. You know, I'll never sit there and say a disrespectful thing to him, because I think to myself, I'm actually happy that I know you and the levels that you got to, because I think to myself, you did well, and I knew you from when you was in school, and I saw how well you was doing in school, and
So
I went to college and done well.
Can I ask you the question again? Is he a hard worker?
I mean, not more hardworking than any other brother that I've seen try to do the same thing. But what I'm trying to say to you is, he had when you've got certain pushes in the right direction, when you know to yourself, this person's going to back me, that person's going to back me, this person's going to put money into me, this person's going to get me to that stage. Your levels change. Do you know what I mean? You can sit there and say, well, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna push myself out a little bit further. If you sort of said to me, my dad's a professional footballer, and he's now gonna be able to get me into a football team, will I be doing extra laps outside? Of course I will. Why? Because I know I'm going to make it. I know if I get myself fit, if I went to the gym instead of sitting here in a podcast, I'm doing better for my career, and it's going to push me even further. It's going to make me get into the starting team. So I've got my leg up. And that's where I'm saying, when people got their leg up, they push a little bit further. When you haven't got a leg up, then what do? You're sitting there trying to fight to get a leg up. I'm fighting to meet you so that I can now get that leg up. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want. And that's the luck I'm talking about.
Okay. Again, I mean, I think we'll agree to disagree on that one, because I just, like I said, I don't know him personally. We're just in the same circles. From what I've seen of Lethal B, that guy, like, his just to hustle so much and have so much, it's not like. That's not easy at all.
No, because now you've made it.
Of course. But there's other MCs that are on the same platform that haven't strived as much as he has. And you see why. You see why.
Do you want me to be slightly disrespectful to him?
No, thank you.
No, just slightly.
No, thank you.
Shut up, you. All right. But he's not as talented artistically wise as some of the others.
Okay.
He's a lot smarter than a lot of the others.
Right.
And I'll say that live on air, that he is very intelligent for what he's pushed and done. Like I said, Powell wasn't even, he said Pow, but it's his record, it's his money, and he's blown. Everyone else on that record didn't blow anywhere near him or make the amount of money that he did.
Of course, yeah.
Well done to him, because he used his brain over anything else. So when you say about his hustle's different from everybody else, because he's smart. He realizes, you're the talented one, yeah? Don't worry, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Do you know what I mean?
There's one thing I have to say to interject on that. That is the foundation of business. Business is not you doing the work, someone else doing the work, and you benefiting from it.
That's why I said I don't hate on him, bro. Respect for him.
So, thank you for sharing that. There's a couple of key points that have come out of that conversation that I really actually like. And I get your stance, because no one can tell you how you've lived your life. Do you get what I mean? And that's one thing, you can't tell me how I've lived my life, because I was there every single day.
100%.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
you might have met me today, but I was there every day when it was dark and it was cold and it was early in the morning and whatever else, so it was late at night. So I fully understand that. And I also appreciate what Buddy's saying is that there are people, and the crazy thing about life is there are people that work 10 times as hard as anyone else. And they haven't made it, so no one's telling their story.
Yeah, of course.
Do you get what I mean?
Course,
So it's not to say if you don't work hard, you're not going to make it.
No, of course.
No one's out here echoing their story, because I've worked hard, but haven't been consistent at one thing for a sustained period of time, and then failed at that one thing to say, do you know what I mean? It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because their story's never told.
Yeah, of course.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. And
the story's only told by the victors, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And that's how
Survival of the fittest and all of that.
Yeah, religion. That's how it works. Do you get? If I kill off your religion, no one's telling your religious stories no more. They're only going to repeat mine.
100%.
Do you get what I mean? It's just because you got better ammunition than I have. Doesn't mean that my religious path and your religious path weren't on the same kilter. Do you understand? And that's just listen to what's being shared and even my own personal viewpoint. I'm like, it's a difficult one. However, I'll never tell anyone younger than me not to follow their dream. Because a lot of people told us, don't do that. Or don't try that. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
That's foolishness.
Sounds like what you look like. It's fine.
Do you know what I mean? So always follow your path and stay on your path, whatever your path may look like. Do you get what I mean? And believe in it, because there'll be times when no one else does, and
100%.
only you are your own cheerleader. But you're also your own backing dancer and your own manager. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And cleaner.
And you have to be all of those things plus more to stay motivated, to stay waking up early in the morning and doing the things that need to be done. However, the timer says, even though it doesn't matter what it says there, this is how Jay operates. He's just going to throw some random. And then if we go over the time, you then get charged.
Okay.
He's always a guest. I don't know why.
I don't know why. It's just this guy happens. It was in the T's and C's when you walked through the door. But
I mean,
regardless of
I've
that,
got a lawyer.
what I'll ask you to do,
Yes.
like what we all do, is to summarize on today's podcast.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you to go first, then Sirell, then Buddy, and then I'll finish up.
Summarize what we've talked about.
Anything you've taken from today's experience
Platform is yours.
about yourself.
Wow.
The next, I was going to say 30 seconds, but we already know your timing is
I'll do
over
15.
the shop.
No, you know
But
what?
Go for it.
I've had a great time, and I think, firstly, let me just say thank you for having me, and you've made me think about what I stand for, because I believe that I've been called to do this. I've been called to be great, and when we spoke about what it takes to get there, or like knowing people, or luck and all these things, it actually put a stamp in my mind, because I'm not just trying to be in the middle. I'm trying to be great. I'm trying to go that extra mile. So I have to understand what shoulders I'm standing on, and what a role model I'm being. So again, I'm saying these things, but sometimes when you say something, you actually confirm it in your mind, like, wow, actually, this is what I stand for. This is what I'm trying to do. So thank you for pushing that. That narrative, because it's made me rethink about what I'm actually saying and what I'm trying to portray to my community, to my people, to the real Wakanda. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Really.
First of all, thank you very much for coming to join us today. You have the honor of being our first guest.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't
So
know
there's pure, legends and legacies being made today.
Okay.
So it's great to have somebody that's in that industry that's come to give us a view from their perspective and how you see it, and also to kind of give that foundation that do what's true to you. As much as there are opportunities and there are ways to make money and there's ways to reach the goal, if you're not true to yourself, you will have achieved it without having that crucial word that we spoke about, which was legacy. Yeah. You want to be known for what you do. Yeah. And it's funny you should say that, because one of our members actually stated that one of the reasons why he's here and he does this is because he wants to leave that legacy. So this is part of his immortality.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Going forward. And this is something that a lot of us kind of take for granted, but we don't realize that there's a lot that's to be said when you do something and when you stand for something. So first of all, let me say thank you for that.
Thank you.
But totally disagree with you. Nothing new. This is the thing. I don't believe in luck. I believe in hard work. I believe in timing. I believe in recognition. However, I do also believe in working smart. And I think if I'm to look at what you say about luck, I think I would translate that or transpose it to being smart. If you're smart, I think that compensates for what you would consider to be luck. So, for example, being at the right place at the right time, that was a smart maneuver on you to take that decision to go there. That decision of, oh, you know what, I woke up one today and I'm lucky and this happened, for me, I don't know. And to a certain extent, you're absolutely right. If you throw enough proverbial to the wall, something will stick.
100%.
Something will stick. It's just the way physics and science work. So, yeah. But for me, if you work hard, you stick at it, and you have a clear vision of what your goal is, that this is what I want to be and this is what I want to achieve, you'll achieve it in your own way. Because everybody has a different interpretation of success. For you, success may be, yeah, everybody knows me. My success may be, I've got a retirement plan and I can live comfortably for the rest of my life and I can leave a continuity for my kids or my legacy. So whatever yours is, understand it, research it, and make it yours.
My time? So, Sweet B. Apologise for my friend over here. All right, you wasn't our first actual guest.
Oh.
I mean, probably his first actual guest.
Why would you bring that up? Why would you just not let things...
Because it's the truth, aka the truth. But anyway, all right. No,
That's how you
but you know what?
Yeah,
Thank you very much for coming. Like, it was nice. It's a blessing to have someone in your field,
Thank you.
in your experience, so we can actually kind of, I suppose, interview kind of thing and get some knowledge from you and give it to some of our audience as well, which I think was beautiful. When you're saying about luck, to address my fellow podcastian, make it up here.
I like that.
All right. You make your own luck. Do you know what I mean? And so if that's what you wanted to say, I can sort of say, yeah, you make your own luck, but it's still luck. Do you know what I mean? There are things like I said, being born into a certain family allows you to be able to get certain benefits. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, right, I got a benefit because of that. So you make, and there's others that have had to come from the ground up and make their own, like make introductions, meet these people. They've met this person, and now this person's their friend, and now I know that person that's my friend. He's got me to here, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And like the example I used to you, like my son might be a good singer, and I might turn and say to himself, well, now I can introduce you to, and then it's now a vision that I can give to him, a path that I can give to him to say, this is what I've given to you, and this is my luck that I've met you and I've come down today. I might not have come down today and I might not have met you and I might not have been able to do that. So there you go, there's the luck that I've now given to my son. So these things happen, do you know what I mean? It's just a part of life. I don't believe to myself that you get anywhere without hard work. So when you did use the example of Ronaldo, I did want to jump in and talk a little bit of football because it's my forte, but it was just like, Ronaldo worked very hard, and he came from Sporting Lisbon to Manchester United. He wasn't in the best physical condition. When he left Man United and then went into Real Madrid, his physique changed and all the rest of it, and he became the superstar and megastar that he became, and one of the best players ever to play football. Well done to him. Messi was somebody that's just been born into it. He was born talented. He's never had to really work as hard. I'm not saying he doesn't work hard, but I'm saying he's never had to work hard in his physique to get to the stature that Ronaldo actually built for himself. So when you do mention footballers and you said that, it was like there are people that have to work hard at it, but you're going further away from what we was talking about, how he got there in the first place. What was his original, how did he get there to that point? And a lot of people get to these points through a lot of luck and who you know. Do you know what I mean? And I hope that people get to things just because of their talent, but I don't believe that's everything that's going to happen. That's not how it always goes for everybody, because we've all met people and know people with amazing football talent, singing talent, rapping talent, and so I can go on. And I've met them all, and I thought, how have you not made it? And you know what I mean? And I'll give a very quick side story. I do apologise. All right, to say there were some people with certain talents that were better than mine, and I would say to myself, right, if you ain't made it, what chance is there for me? Do you know what I mean? And that always kind of, it hit me a few times, and I'd hope, even saying this to people out there, that you don't get put off by that, because to be honest with you, that person might have the better talent, but you might have the better connections. You might know the better people. You might know you might work harder, as you put it earlier on. So there are other avenues, so it's not just hard work. So when we were saying to you, and not just attacking your point, but it's not just hard work, it's not just dedication. That's part of it, and it's one of Floyd Mayweather's sayings, but it's also who you know. Floyd Mayweather might not have been the boxer he was, but if his dad wasn't a boxer, or his uncle wasn't a boxer, so he had a path to make it there. Do you know what I mean? Not everybody's got that path. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I would say. There are other things, there are other factors that does happen. Just don't give up, try your hardest, but there are other factors and try and make those good connections. Citrus.
Thank you, buddy. I'd like to echo, thank you for attending the podcast today.
Thank you.
The door is always open.
Thank you very much.
So just give us a shout when you want to come back. There's always something to talk about.
Please.
And we really appreciate you talking about yourself and your experiences and your aspirations. And we all bid you good luck.
Yes, definitely.
Buddy don't believe in it, but
Buddy don't believe in it.
But no, definitely good
thank
luck. For myself, from today's podcast, having someone that's not in our generational bracket, I think is very helpful, just to get a different perception. Because I know we can be very focused and very harpooned in one point, and to get someone to stand on the other side and say, well, actually, I'm like, it's refreshing. So thank you very much. That's
thank you.
what I've taken from today. Shout goes out to Wiley, Rainman, and Tongo. For all those that are on the live, we do apologise that we didn't get to the comments on the live, but we're glad that you've been able to stay on the live and pay attention. Shout goes out to Myriad. Stayed awake.
Ross.
I can't even tell, bro. I can't tell if he's awake or
Bro, you're going to rain, bro. You're
But,
8 minutes over your time, fam.
But that's all good. Just finally on the points that I did raise, or we did raise today, one of the things that stuck in my head was actually from the beginning, when you spoke about your father's family and they all being in music, and your mother's side of the family being musical, but honed themselves more on the, I would say, the not labour, but the conventional paths.
100%.
So then when you explain about yourself,
He's got balance on both sides,
the story
innit?
tells itself.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? And I think that's so important. So when we talk about balance and we talk about man talking about men or males being involved in young people's lives, to be able to sit on this couch and share the story about I don't know your relationship with your mother or your dad, but being able to talk about both sides of the family, I think is the best balance, which represents what we're trying to achieve within the podcast, because we don't necessarily get the same platform to talk about these things.
100%.
And to someone listening to this in 12 months' time, they're going to be like, do you know what? My dad's family were also good musicians.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
Yeah, I get it.
This has been the MT podcast. I remember, if the glass isn't half full,
It's empty.
yeah.